Hi, everybody. Welcome to Saturday's call. Thanks for giving me a chance to be here. Today, we're going to talk about this, if you want to call it this, black water innovation. And it really isn't just black water. It's more than just black water. It's more than just a few minerals. It's more than oxidation and antioxidant support. It's more than hydration. It's more than nutrient and oxygen delivery to the cells. It's more than just detox, and that's why we called it MORE. So MORE is an acronym. And if we want to break down our intent of this brand and the promise that we want to deliver to people, MORE, mineralization, oxygenation, rejuvenation, electrolytes, including detox. So it's a mouthful, and today it's going to be kind of like drinking from a fire hose. I'm going to give you a lot of information. And information on the technical side of these calls is much like a new song. You know, you hear the new song the first time, you like it. You hear it the second time, you start to learn it. You hear it 2, 3, 4 times, then you can start to sing the song. We don't have to be biochemists, and we don't have to be doctors, and we're not. And we don't have to get into the detail. But after hearing this several times, you'll start to understand the importance of what's in the product and really what's in the product for you. As a formal disclaimer, all the statements that are made today have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose any disease state. So these have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. For all medical conditions and all nutritional supplementation, please consult with your physician. Okay, so now you've seen this little 2-ounce vial, which is 60 milliliters, and it's really dark black. And you take 2 dropperfuls and you put it in 16 or more ounces of water, and you turn it into this nutrient-rich, mineral-concentrated black water. It's black like Coca-Cola, but it doesn't have any taste. It tastes like natural spring water. And so when you look at the little vial, you know, a dropperful really isn't a dropperful. And there's on the photo on the side of the bottle that teaches you how much liquid to put in your glass. So what is in it? What is this all about? So the formulation itself, we use triple filtered, triple purified, reverse osmosis, deionized, UV sterilized water that has been ozone saturated. That gives us a good platform to start. It's just not tap water or city water in our product, so we want a good pharmaceutical grade water. Then we go to the mineral content. Fulvic and humic acid are minerals. They're actually not acidic, but they're acid form. So fulvic and humic minerals, and we're going to talk about it today, these are very unique minerals. These particular minerals are plant-derived. They're plant-derived, meaning many, many years ago, when volcanic ash erupted and saturated the globe, it landed on plants. And when those plants decomposed and broke down and digested, they digested and absorbed those minerals. That becomes a shale. And now, millions and millions of years later, as more cosmic dust and everything else gets into the environment, more layers compound on top of that particular layer from millions of years ago. So if you harvest down into the soil, and we've all seen different layers like a wedding cake in the soil, you get to the humic and fulvic acids layer of plant-chelated, plant-digested minerals. So it's a lot better than using petrochemical minerals and the like. The next ingredient, also plant-derived, is activated charcoal. Now, we're not talking about Kingston briquettes that you buy from Walmart that you grind up, and not that a lot of people do those kinds of things, but we're not talking about petrochemical-based activated charcoal. Our activated charcoal comes from an extract of the coconut shell. You cut a coconut in half, you look at the shell, there's a little black line. Those are mineral concentrations that the coconut palm tree has absorbed to create the cement, the fiber, the strength of that very robust coconut, and to protect and nourish the coconut oils and milk and that which is inside the coconut. So a steam extraction method is used. We pull out those activated charcoal compounds. They're concentrated, and they're added to the formula. So the next ingredient is called a carbon-60 mineral antioxidant. We're going to get in details on that. That ingredient alone could be its own company. It is super powerful, and we'll get into detail in a minute. So these are the things that make us different than other people on the marketplace, and we have 3 to 10 times the potency in each of our servings than anything else you might see in the marketplace. And our formula and our ingredients are unique from source and from type. Plant-derived fulvic and humic acid minerals are bioavailable. They're activated minerals and nutrients that can easily pass through the cell membranes and get inside your cell. What are some of the things the internet and research shows about these valuable minerals? They stimulate immune function, help reduce inflammation, promote blood cell and tissue oxygenation. You think about the importance of oxygenation. If I told you to hold your breath for 5 minutes, you're going to pass out. You're going to fail. The same thing happens at the cellular level. And if we don't have those catalysts, those chaperones, those ionically charged activated minerals that promote oxygen delivery, our cells are going to suffocate and starve, same way you would if you held your hand over your mouth for 5 minutes. So oxygen is the key to life and essential. So by promoting that blood cell and tissue oxygenation makes a dramatic difference to cellular recovery and our longevity. Here, increase energy and metabolic function, the process by which our body works. Help neutralize acidity and restore a pH balance. So we're talking about alkaline water that we forced with electrons or forced with magnets or forced with ions, that once you force water into a state it doesn't want to be, it's going to bounce right back. We're talking about alkaline-forming nutrients. An alkaline-forming nutrient is a toolbox to our plasma, to the human body, and the body will use the tools in that toolbox, minerals, to balance pH systemically the way nature intended. You cannot force the body to be acid or alkaline. You can only give it the nutrients to allow it to regulate itself. These are those nutrients. It also chelates and removes heavy metals and toxins. They're also referred to as super antioxidant. Supports cardiovascular function and blood pressure. Helps balance the endocrine system and hormone production. Supports a healthy gut and promotes electrolyte balance. So electrolyte balance is essential because just because you're drinking water doesn't mean it's getting into the cell. You've got osmotic pressure, all the other things we talk about with Prevail to help get inside the cell, Prevail Max. We want water to get inside the cell. We want water to get to the brain. We want it to get to joints and tissues. But without electrolytes, these things that are called biocatalysts, these electrically charged mineral ions, water is just going to float on top of your cells. You know, like if you wax the hood of your car and you see water on that, bead off, right? That water is beading because it cannot penetrate that fatty, waxy surface. So electrolytes is a real key. Sorry to ramble on, but it's really important. If you were to look at the side of the cell membrane, so you think about a balloon. Imagine if we cut that balloon in half, you look at the edge of that balloon. Oh, you'd see this little rubber membrane. But that's really not what the cell membrane looks like. If you cut the cell membrane in half and blew it up, and we're going to post this on the back office so you can see, there's millions and millions of little balloons all tied together in perfect rows, all in harmony, all like a series of dominoes. There's a north side, there's a south side, meaning there's an internal set of little balloons with tails on them, and there's an external set of little balloons with tails on them. All of these clusters together, that is the actual cell membrane. And you want to promote, with fulvic and humic acids, you can promote the passage of nutrients in addition to oxygen, in addition to water, inside, across these membranes into the cell, and pull waste out across the membranes. So now you've got like this little Uber, these little micro minerals. They can go inside the cell, they can grab toxins, and they can make their way outside of the cell. Why? Because they're super, super small in structural size, because they have a dynamic and great surface area, and they're capable of doing it. And that's how the body is designed by God in nature to work to remove toxins. Now let's talk about coconut-derived activated charcoal. This is a powerful toxin-absorbing substance, really designed to clean house. Get an idea how strong this is. 1 teaspoon of activated charcoal has more surface area than a football field. So imagine a basketball. If you cut the basketball open and laid it out like a map of the country, the surface area is much greater laid out flat than it is in the ball structure. And so if you have millions and millions of tiny basketballs that have this surface area, you've got millions of tiny surface areas that can be exposed to the billions of cells in the human body to do its function. Activated charcoal can interact with and absorb a range of toxins, drugs, viruses, bacteria, fungus, and chemicals not only found in water, but also found in our body. So it's steam extracted from carbon-rich coconut cells. So here's an example of where activated charcoal is used in medicine today. The emergency rooms across the country use it in the treatment of overdose or poisoning. It's the first thing they do once they discover a person is overdosed or poisoned. Let's get that out of their body. It's an emergency room treatment program, and they can do it with capsules, they can do it with injections, they can do it with stomach pumping. So that's a real important thing. They know how powerful its antitoxin capability is, and so it's used there. So why aren't we using it daily in smaller amounts to keep us from the poisons of environmental contaminations, the poisons of processed foods, chemicals, and all the things that we're exposed to? Why do we have to wait until we get to, quote, overdose toxicity in our life, which is the aging process, which is the interruption of our potential longevity? Let's start detoxifying and getting rid of that junk in our body now. Activated charcoal may assist in kidney function by filtering out undigested toxins and drugs. It seems to be especially efficient at removing toxins derived from urea. Urea is a byproduct of protein digestion. Studies show that it helps kidney function and repair gastrointestinal damage. So a really powerful nutrient